1, 2, 3, 4. All right, welcome back to Country and Cold Cans. I'm Logan, sitting here with Trucker Andy and Kyle. Be sure to give us 5 stars and a great review on Spotify and Apple Podcast, and check out the website countryandcoldcans.com for blog content and merch. And you know, in the description of this podcast, there's a link that says click here to give us leave us a voicemail. Love to hear from you. Any questions, any music recommendations, you know, that's the place to hit us. We'll respond to you next week. All right, fellas, we're having a song roundup. But Kyle, I know you want to talk about one release that doesn't fit really the parameters of what we cover on this show, but you are a stan of this band for whatever reason.
Yes. So the Divorced Dad Rock all-time greatest made a comeback last week. Well, I was in Raleigh hanging out with Logan. Stained, new album, first time in 20 years, I believe. Fantastic record. It's not their best, still a fantastic record. I implore all of you to check it out. I have listened to it on repeat. Personally,
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. The first single they dropped was on my birthday, if you will, back in July, and I take it as a sign from God. You know, it's just meant to be. First single of the new album. Not the best song on the album, but they did release a single on my birthday. So Aaron Lewis back in the saddle in the Divorced Dad Rock category.
I think you mean butt rock.
No. It is not butt rock.
It's not dad rock.
No, it's Divorced Dad Rock. It's not dad rock.
It's Divorced Dad Rock if you hover between the ages of 37 and 45.
Yes, and these are the people that listen to it. Yeah, it's not butt rock. No, it's not butt rock.
It's butt rock.
It's Divorced Dad Rock.
Well, I mean, you can put lipstick on a pig. End of the day, it's still a pig.
Yeah, but it's a prettier pig.
It sounds better.
yeah, it's a prettier pig. So yes, shout out, boy, Aaron Lewis, Stained, new album. Never thought it would happen, but yeah, I'm here for it.
Are you saying it's been a while since their last album?
Yes, exactly. Logan knows it.
I know that song. I know a couple Stained songs.
Yeah. It has been a while. It's been 20 years, I believe, since.
Jeez, really?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No, it might be 15 since
because they've still been touring.
Yeah,
but he's also been doing his country thing too.
I can't read Roman numerals. 2008, so that's 15 years. Yeah. Okay, 15. Yeah. So yeah, 15 years. But I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I'm like Ed and Eddie when I get a jawbreaker. Gleeful.
It's a weird juxtaposition. We have Stained / Aaron Lewis and Ed and Eddie.
Oh, dude, I love Ed and Eddie. God, it's so good. Yes. I was gleeful as fuck last Tuesday when it dropped. God.
All right, well, let's move into some other new releases that kind of fit, as I said, more of the parameters of what we cover. First song up, Zach Bryan. He released an EP a couple weeks ago, and the single that was kind of released off of the first one that kind of fell into all of our release radars on Spotify was a duet he did with like folk pop singer Noah Kahan. Noah Kahan apparently is like really popular with the young kids. I'm not going to say I haven't really ever heard much of his music. I don't think that it's going to be really my thing, but I'll check it out at some point. But he's very popular with the college kids these days, I hear. But it's called Sarah's Place.
Don't come back clever and proud, you're under the skyline. We always knew you were the better half of our good times. Those backyard lights don't shine as bright without your face. Out of Sarah's Place.
I mean, overall, I'm a fan of this. It sounds like Zach Bryan. I think he and Noah Kahan kind of sound pretty good singing together. Is Zach Bryan style production. I mean, and honestly, as I've read a couple critics say, anybody in the critic world that wants to be like, well, this is messy, this is maybe not well thought out. At the end of the day, at this point in Zach Bryan's career, it really doesn't matter. It's going to be popular anyways. But overall, you know, I like the production choices and I like the melody. A pleasing song to me. So Andy, what about you?
I think it does sound maybe slightly different. I want to say I may be influenced. I believe I watched a video about this song before I really formed my own opinions. I don't know what Noah Khan sounds like. I'd never heard of the guy before, but I hear he's popular. So I think it does maybe have a little bit of his sound in there. Not like it's way different or anything,
Right.
but slightly. I mean, I don't think this is the best release of Zach Bryan's in the last month or of this project, but it's fine. It's good. As you said, it doesn't really matter. This guy can do anything he wants to right now.
At this point, it'll still be popular. Kyle?
This is much better than I believe his last collab single, which is Dawns. Much better.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
His
I like
last
Dawns.
collabs off the album, and those are way better.
Collab single.
Yeah.
Facts.
Okay. All right. Just want to clarify for the hate. Yeah, I wasn't a very big fan of Dawns.
I want my Dawns back.
This is one of the few collabs. I'm not. Hold on. The one he did with Casey Musgraves was one of the few where I feel like he got outshined by Casey Musgraves. But this one, I don't know Noah Khan.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear Noah Khan very much, other than the one verse that he did by himself.
He was in there a bunch. Of, like I said, I just think their voices are so like kind of similar.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear the one verse he does by himself, and then he's like background vocals. But the only person I've ever really heard kind of stand up Zach Bryan is Casey Musgraves, which she's a rare talent.
I will say that Michael Trotter Jr. of War and Treaty.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Blew him out of water on when it comes to vocal performances.
That's a great
But no, I'm with you. I like the Casey collab too a lot.
Yeah. I say that back. Yeah, Michael Trotter Jr. Yeah.
I could listen to Michael Trotter Jr. sing the phone book.
Yeah, he was so good he had to call him out in the song. I can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah, great call out. But yeah, I don't know Noah Khan. I'm gonna listen to him, but it's more of the same. I don't really.
Yeah,
is he related to Tony?
For those that don't know, that's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the owner and founder of AEW. Classic Rock Carter is actually here at my house right now. And Carter, I guarantee you didn't think that Andy would be referencing Tony Khan on this episode, but he did. Carter is flummoxed right now. He's surprised. But yeah, it's Zach Bryan, Noah Khan, Sarah's Place. All right, moving right along to another guy that's been really, really popular with that same demographic of younger people, very big on TikTok. And we are big fans here on Country and Cold Cans. That is Wyatt Flores. He has a new song, new music video called West of Tulsa.
To the face in the crowd, somebody waking up in a cheap hotel makes you want to be somebody to somebody else.
All right, so we're back with a new one from Wyatt Flores, and this one, is pretty much song about. I think it almost seems it wouldn't surprise me if it's autobiographical in a lot of ways. Because about being out on the road, but at the same time, like the road is kind of like his safe haven from having to think about how he kind of wants to, as the chorus says, be somebody to somebody else, kind of want something real in the relationship part of life, but that's difficult being on the road. Kyle, what are your thoughts on this one?
So, I really, really enjoyed this song, and I've never really been in the dating scene for the past decade, but I do see where you say the on the road aspect, and it really fits. But also, I feel like a lot of dudes can vibe with this song where dudes in the dating scene, they're whatever they need to be, if you will. They've been the last call. Maybe not so much the dude on the stage, but the general gist of the song is they feel whatever need they need to feel, and you take what you can get, if you will. That's what I took away from the song.
Andy?
I really like this song. I kind of wish this was more of a bummer jam.
Yeah.
Why the writing of it fits bummer jams really well, and Wyatt Flores is really good at bummer jams. While it's really good, it kind of like it leaves you wanting for the bummer jam for us sad boy people.
I can see what you're saying there. It has such a hooky chorus, sing along chorus that I imagine the production choices on this had concerts in mind, but I'm with you that the writing could have fit a bummer jam very well. I really do I like this song a lot too. I love Wyatt Flores' voice. And I hear he puts on a fantastic show. I've been seeing that a lot on social media from people whose opinions I tend to trust with that stuff. So definitely, he had his show sold out in Raleigh at Lincoln Theater before I could get to it and be able to get tickets. But I really like to see him. But this song is another thumbs up in my book. I've been very, very high on this guy's music over the last year and a half. So West Tulsa, good in my book. All right. So next up, we have a North Carolina artist that we talked about during August during our Carolina Country Music Month. Mikhail Buck Band's back with a song called In Case You Didn't Know.
And I know you did your best to hold this music, man. And I know I should have made it easier than I did. Yeah, but life's about moving on, but girl, I just can't seem to let you go. I just called to say I'm sorry once again, just in case you didn't know.
So this song is almost like a quasi postmortem on a relationship, and it's very classically country in the writing. It's very very neo traditional in the production, and Mikhail Buck, his voice is chef's kiss in my mind for just a straight ahead country song. Everything about this song is right up my alley. So I'm a big fan. Kyle, I know you love Mikhail Buck too. What do you think?
He has a really, really special talent for bummer / that sad song that we all love. And the one beef we've always had with him is if he would just have new music, it's fantastic. And he has been steadily disproving that theory over the past year. He's dropped, I think, 3 or 4 singles over the past year. And he just has the voice for that neo-traditional, sad, in-your-feels country. And his voice just works fantastically with it. And, God, the last 4 singles he's put out, I've loved every one of them. They are fantastic.
Oh, yeah, me too. I mean, when he gets in the studio and has a full studio production,
God, it's so good.
The heavy pedal steel, this is like, it's literally music to my ears. But I love everything about the songs he's been putting out lately.
Yes,
Andy?
Yeah, I could probably listen to this guy sing phone book, honestly. I love his voice. Based without doing a ton of research, he wrote this on the song credits as a solo write. This may be one of the best songs that he has written. Without going deep through his song credits, see which ones he solo wrote. This is up there on the better ones that he's written. So that's a double thumbs up.
No Jason Mraz co-write here.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't know what we're talking about there, check out the last episode. We interviewed his buddy and very popular North Carolina independent artist, Corey Hunt. He tells us the story of Mikhail Buck and Tyler Hatley's song that they both had recorded that Corey Hunt had a hand in writing. The very wild story on how Jason Mraz is on the song credits for that one is called In Came You. Check that out, last episode, Country and Cold Cans, Corey Hunt interview.
I am really surprised Andy likes Mikhail Buck.
I am too sometimes. I was about to ask you, Kyle, if you were just as surprised as I was on that.
Yeah, because, Andy hates neo-traditional country.
Anything 90s influenced.
Yeah. But
they don't sound like this.
Yes, they do.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like this.
But their voice
yeah,
doesn't sound like Mikkel Buck.
The voice, but the instrumentation and the thematics.
The writing.
Yeah, this isn't like, give me that wink, wham, bam, I'm doing all right. But like this still is very sonically very like 90s influenced.
Yeah.
This isn't Neil McCoy, yes, and I like Neil McCoy, but
I mean, his song Irish Road, oh my God, it's right up 90s sad boy country.
I like that song.
Which amazes me.
Maybe Andy likes more of 90s country than we think. But
he just won't admit it. He's an antagonist.
I think
don't listen to it.
I think Andy probably is like secretly gets into his 18-wheeler when he's trucking down the road and he listens to Vidalia by Sammy Kershaw, followed by Wink by Neil McCoy, Watermelon Crawl after that. I think
he's probably also on the
90s
double
country
wide trailer.
connoisseur.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Andy probably starts fist pumping when he says I'm the he's the Charlie Daniels of the torque wrench. One of my favorite lines in any 90s country song ever.
The songs where you didn't list the artist, I couldn't tell you who sung that.
No.
We're going to have an episode where we educate this young man on some 90s country.
Andy, you are, what is it? You're a mystery wrapped in an enigma. You truly are.
I can shock you at the stuff I don't know.
Maybe.
All right. Moving into a completely different direction than Mikkel Buck, we have a new song from Southall. The band formerly it was just Reed Southall, the artist, but now the band's rebranded as Southall with a new one called All I Have. All right, so let's get this out of the way. Song's not country. It's rock. Now that we got that out of the way, we can talk about the song. Andy, what do you think?
I mean, I like pretty much everything they put out, but like the instrumentation in the chorus, what does that sound like? That sounds really, really familiar.
Like in general or like specifically?
It's going to be, I think specifically, it's going to be like 2000s rock.
Yeah.
Sounds really familiar.
Now, in general, and you guys may not agree with this, in general, it reminds me a little bit of Kings of Leon.
Yes. That might be what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as Andy knows, because Andy told me I'm a big Kings of Leon fan. Wink, wink.
Yep.
Inside joke here amongst the co-hosts.
Yes, the Kings of Leon fan is a great pull. The part I find most interesting / concerning is the album art screams 1970s. But it
almost looks like Fleetwood Mac album art.
Yes, exactly.
Because it reminds me of Rumors.
Yeah.
Not because like it's one person, but just the color tones.
The color tones and like it's almost watercolor-esque on the album art. I don't really know how I feel about trying to combine those two. I don't really know.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they're trying to go for, but I feel like it's a disservice to Fleetwood Mac to
that's the only thing this song or this band has in common with Fleetwood Mac is these similar shaded album covers. I don't think it's
I am judging just on the one song. The one song being quasi relatable to Kings of Leon, and then you have a very Fleetwood Mac-esque album art. I don't know.
I've never seen so. First time I've heard of someone not liking a song because of the album art.
Yeah, and then taking it as a slight to a very great and classic band just because the album art has the same color scheme.
I'm consistent on that. I'm consistent on that.
Andy, tell him, Kyle, you are a mystery wrapped up in an enigma.
We all have our faults. Yeah, I don't know. But I do actually really dive into the album art. And I think I'm fairly consistent on that.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, no, I'm not gonna let album art affect whether I like a song or not or anything like that. But I am with you. Like, you are consistent with your takes on album art and what you like and everything, what you talk about. So I mean,
I do think it unfairly influences what I think of certain songs.
yeah,
I would say it's unfair, and it probably is. It's certainly unfair. I wouldn't say it's inconsistent. Probably is, but yeah,
Kyle is consistently inconsistent.
that's
There we
right. That's
Now, I really like this song too. I mean, I like a lot of Kings of Leon, especially that little era where they were kind of like relevant.
Mhm. Yeah.
So this does remind me of that. So I was kind of down with that. The chorus is very hooky, very easy to remember, and it's a good driving song, I would say. Like riding down the road listening to this song is like a good match.
Yeah. I mean, Kings of Leon infinitely better than the Imagine Dragons. God.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Vastly different.
God. No. Nah,
They're very different.
I don't know.
I'm sure they probably used a couple of the same colors in some album arts one day, Andy. So
Yeah.
There was some blue on them.
there was a blue on those. That's Imagine Dragons.
Oh God.
There's both eyes in their band titles.
All right. When we get through the album, can we have a talk on like pop music in general? I would love to have a general conversation.
All right. Let's move into the next song, though. And this is, in my opinion, the best song on this list. This album is fantastic. Can't recommend it highly enough. It's none other than Charles Wesley Godwin from the album Family Ties. And this one that we're talking about this week is Minor Imperfections. MINER, Minor Imperfections.
He's got minor imperfections, blame it on his roots. Calluses on his hands, cordus on his boots. He's not one for conversation when there's work to do. Papa said get paid in cash, company scripts and news. Them city folks would shame him if he let them. But he's proud of his minor imperfections.
All right, so this is off the brand new album Family Ties. This song in particular is one of those like songs about your dad, songs about or your granddad, insert whichever fatherly figure in your life there. But in his case, Charles Wesley Godwin's from West Virginia. He's from coal country. He's from Appalachia. And the Appalachian kind of sound is there on this record, really, but it's there on this song. And then the play on words with minor imperfections, talking about in the narrator song being a coal miner. And then just the sage advice, the difference in his demeanor through the years from being a kind of like that generation in particular, wasn't like the most showing of affection fathers day to day, like people tend to be more so now. But then like how he changed when he became a granddad. Everything about this song is a 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10 for me. Love this song. Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, well, to piggyback on what you said, one, the play on words is phenomenal. Not even the generational thing. I don't even think it's generational. I think a lot of our dads are hard on us. They expect a lot more from us. But, when they become grandparents, they become the meme where I'm going to load them up on sugar and, send them home. But it's when
I'm gonna load them up on sugar and send them home.
Yeah.
If you think about it, that's low-key diabolical.
Oh yeah, my granddad used to give me a 2-liter of Mountain Dew and send me home to my parents. He would first 2 hours I was cool, and then he would give me a 2-liter Mountain Dew. But the part I love about this song is it really humanizes our fathers in a way that is excellent, because we're kind of, all three of us, we're kind of pushing that age about when our dads became fathers, and we all know how we are currently. We're all humans, and we all have faults, and we all have issues internally. And when I was watching a really interesting Instagram reel the other day, a child goes through 3 phases in their life where they think their dad's the hero, they think their dad's the villain, and then when they think their dad's the best friend. And all that happens within 15 years. And this song exemplifies that. It's just, it goes from when he's a little child to all of a sudden he realizes his dad and is a really a human, and he realizes, yeah, he wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect, but I love him for who he is.
And then he gets into the end where it's like his dad becomes a granddad, and seeing that man who was not very emotional lighten up, when the grandkids are there.
And it really tugs on your heart, because if you think about it, a lot of dads, they like to an extent, your point where that generation was, and kind of sort of our generation, but you were taught to just keep those emotions in check. You always keep those emotions in check, and then you see your grandson or your granddaughter, and you really can't keep them in check because
you mail it out with age, and then there's little grandbabies running around.
Yeah, and
does a number on the toughest son of a gun.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a sight, if you will. Yeah. See a hard old man tear up at a pretty young grandbaby.
Andy, I know you're not as big of a Charles Wesley Godwin fan, so I'm curious your thoughts.
I mean, there's nothing I can say bad about the song. The song is fantastic, but it doesn't do it for me.
You heartless, soulless.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Andy, why don't you go outside and touch grass for not liking this song?
God, dude, this shit's fantastic.
I don't know what that means, but
bro, this shit tugs on the heartstrings, because it's the goal in every son's life, which is all 3 of us, to give our dad's a grandbaby. And like I said, you can see a hard ass old man, which I think all 3 of us have, really getting the feels.
Yeah,
I mean, all three of our dads, hard nosed, blue collar dudes, and Logan, you're the only one that's seen it, but I'm sure your dad got up in his feels when your brother had his first child.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, my dad is, it's interesting because my dad being the generation he's from, like, was he hard on me at times? Yes. But my dad wasn't like callous or cold or didn't have emotions growing up like the previous generation before him did. My dad was a little bit different in that respect.
Sure, yeah.
Was he, nose to the grindstone,
working hard, like hard-working man.
Guy? Oh, of course. But my dad was never one to withhold hugs or is telling you he loves you or he's proud of you like old generations were.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. But, he was still...
My dad wasn't a coal miner, Kyle.
But like, he was still like a down to business dude. And,
definitely, yeah.
And if you ever saw,
like, if you ever saw me on a heartbeat if he didn't think I was working hard enough. So I mean, it wasn't like it was all lollipops and rainbows.
Yeah, well, the point I was making was like, if you ever saw him show emotion, it was real.
Yeah, I'll tell you this though. In the summers when me and my brother were working for him at the family company, Landon got fired a couple of times. I never did.
Fucking Landon, lazy ass. I never got fired. My sisters both got fired multiple times.
See, look at that. All right, let's move into the next to last song. Friend of the show and former guest Rich O'Toole has released a new single called Stay. And I definitely am a fan of this one. So here's a little clip.
I'm not superstitious. I just believe in the Lord. And I don't need your help. I just need your support. The fire that hasn't burned out. The storm just washed it away. Trust me, baby, I need you to stay. Trust me, baby, I need you to stay.
So in essence, this song is about a guy who, needs his wife, his girlfriend, his fiance, what have you, in his life But the way this song is handled is why I like it. This isn't like the pop country version of this. This was a trend a few years back where it's like, I'm nothing without you. I wasn't able to make it with until you came around. Like he even says in this song, one, this was probably one of Rich's best vocal performances, in my opinion, that I've heard. But this song, what I liked about it was he goes, I don't need your help. I just need your support. That's a very key line for me, because it's not saying, hey, I can't make it. I'll be falling apart and I'm bumbling all over myself if you're not there, but I do need you. So there's a difference. You know what I mean? It's not the pop country trend from years ago where it was just like every man was a bumbling idiot, drug addict, alcoholic until the woman came in and saved him. It got tiresome very, very quick. But this song didn't do that. It handled it in a smart way. And I really, really enjoyed this.
Well, on your point, I really enjoyed the line, I just need the support, because, as most relationships are, it's a team effort. A lot of men can handle most situations, but they just need support. They just need a little bit of affirmation, if you will. And I thought that was a very, very clever / insightful line. And you see a lot of it now, with like the whole relationship on insight on the internet. It's terrible, but a lot of women, if they've just realized all men need is just a little bit of affirmative, affirmation,
positive affirmation. Because
there you go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Statistically speaking, we get only a fraction of the amount of compliments on a day-to-day that women get.
Yep.
And it's like the old joke that actually happens to be true. If you tell a man that you like his shirt, he'll wear that shirt for the next 6 months. Because I myself have been guilty of that in college when I was like 19. A girl once told me I had this back when the small little checks, 2 different color check shirts, button downs were in style. I had this teal and white shirt like that. A girl told me
that shirt.
Andy knows it. See, we lived together back then.
It matches your UNCW hat.
It does. It was the teal worked perfect with it. But a girl told me that she liked that the first time I wore it, and by God, I wore that shirt almost every weekend for the next 4 years. I mean, it's just how it is.
And like I said, a little bit of positive affirmation. Men are simple creatures. They just need a little bit of encouragement, and they'll do whatever you want.
Pretty much.
And they'll find any solution. And I think that one line in the song is fairly deep.
Oh, definitely. Trucker Andy?
I love the way the chorus is phrased. The entire thing, the way he phrased the whole thing, I just love it. And I just simply like Rich O'Toole. I always have. He was one of the first ones I started listening to when I got into this scene, and liked him ever since.
Yeah, and Rich is a super nice, down to earth guy. Like I said, we've had him on the show a couple times, so really, really good dude. But yeah, this Rich O'Toole with his new single, Stay. All right, Andy, we've referenced wrestling once. In the words of Triple H back in the day, are you ready?
Yes.
This is the song that Andy definitely has been vibing on. I'm going to throw it to him first after we play it. But it's a new one called Burn from Luke Grimes. You probably know him from Yellowstone. But here's Burn.
Let it burn till I'm a pile of ashes smoking on your good night dirt. Rip that rear view off, girl, and do what you do. You were gone from the start, so it is breaking my heart. It's just a lesson I gotta learn. It's time to run, light me up, and let me burn.
All right, Andy, I'm going to throw it to you, but I want you to answer one question first. Over or under 25 times? How many times did you play it?
Over
25. Okay.
No, there is nothing I don't like about this song. The instrumentation, the writing, the singing. And then I just realized that when you played that clip, he sounds a little bit like Tom Petty vocally.
I have to go back and
Like kind of in the
listen
pacing
with
of
that
it,
in my mind.
like some of the pacing of it. Yeah, there's nothing I don't like. I like every single little bit of this song.
One thing you pointed out to me when you were in Raleigh and we were riding down the road listening to it was the production choices. The guitar tone on the lead guitar, I thought was phenomenal. The melody is awesome. And I do like the way this song is written too. It was written Luke Grimes with Josh Thompson and Randy Montana. Randy Montana has written, I think he's written a handful of songs with Parker McCollum. But I think very, very good job with this overall. This is the best song Luke Grimes has released. Kyle,
Is this song in Yellowstone?
what now?
Is this song in Yellowstone?
Oh no.
No,
it might
okay.
be. It might be next season, but I'm
not yet.
Okay. All right. Well, the one thing I saw in the album art once again, I was like, yeah, this thing screams a TV/movie single. The album art is just a dead ass giveaway. I'm not very familiar with Luke Grimes, but it's a really good song. I don't love it as much as Andy. Andy, I don't understand you sometimes. Things I think you'll like, you don't like, and things you do like, you love. But when Logan said the Yellowstone thing, I was like, the album art screams Yellowstone. So that's why I asked.
I don't see that. The album art looks like if Zach Bryan made a Randall King album cover.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, like the cowboy aesthetic, but with a Zach Bryan influence. I like that.
Yeah, damn Andy, that's a really
I like that.
That's a really good.
That's on the nose.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. Yeah.
And he's like, got any other brain busters for me, Kyle?
Yeah, damn, he just called me out and just shut me down immediately. All right. No, I don't. No, not at the moment. I'm gonna stump Andy one of these days. All right. Luke Combs and
I have no idea where he's going with this, listeners.
I don't either.
Randy Rogers. What would their album cover look like?
It doesn't work in reverse.
I'm not an artist.
Nah, okay.
Andy, he wants you to sketch it out right now and put it up against.
Sketch it out right now. Yeah. I just want to. Just visualize it for us. Come on. It's obviously
this is not a doable exercise for an audio podcast.
It's obviously watercolor, so that makes it easy.
How much Randy Rogers have you actually listened to?
No, the watercolor is Luke Combs exclusively.
Off the top of my head, Randy Rogers album cover. It basically say Randy Rogers band in watercolor.
All right, fair enough. All right, fair enough. I'm kind of mad that Andy summarized that so well.
He really did.
Yeah, I'm just kind of pissed off that.
Well, that
fantastically.
That imaginative cover artwork segment was brought to you by Parlay Play. If you like sports picks, you like the overs unders, you like prop picks, daily fantasy sports, Parlay Play is the one for you. We have a promo code with Parlay Play that if you were to deposit up to $100, you get 100% of that matched. So you put $100 in, they give you $100 on top of it with the the promo code Cold Cans Pick'em. That's COLDCANSPICKEM. I've done it. Kyle's done it. We've been having a lot of fun. We've had some good success with it. College football season's here. NFL's here. There's no better time to be trying to get a 2-leg or a 3-leg parlay on some quarterback over under passing yards or maybe some touchdowns and or interceptions. Perfect time of the year for that. So make sure you go with Parlay Play with the promo code Cold Cans Pick'em.
Yep. Make sure the promo code goes in before you make your account, not after.
Very true. Kyle learned that the hard way.
I did, yes. So,
well, you said we still have a few more minutes before we have to wrap things up. You said you had some pop music questions for us.
Yeah. All right. So, what do we think of the T-Swizzle Sunday Night Football thing? I am exhausted of this.
I was tired of the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce talk 3 hours into it.
So, all right, hit me up. My grand conspiracy. This is all a massive psyop by the NFL and Taylor Swift. Massive psyop. They're not going to be together at the end of the season. The NFL, greedy as hell. If you look at their Instagram and their Twitter account, the NFL's Twitter account, the cover photo thing.
Oh yeah,
it's Taylor Swift.
They changed it after they got a lot of backlash to the head.
Yeah, they got a lot of shit over. Okay, yeah. And this was in the brewing for a couple weeks with the Kelsey Bros podcast, where they're like, "Oh, I sent our friendship bracelet." But it's all massive psyop to just boost fan engagement.
Well, she does do the friendship bracelet thing, but I will say that wouldn't surprise me. Your conspiracy theory there wouldn't surprise me, but I will say that, I'm a Taylor Swift defender. I appreciate her as an artist and as a songwriter, but the Swifties, and I hope they hear this. I really do.
They're terrible.
Swifties
They're
are
awful.
lunatics. They're lunatics.
Yes.
Because I found out that, on Twitter, they refer to her as mother, and they say whatever mother wants, mother gets.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, if you are that obsessed with one particular celebrity where you're calling them mother and you're mobilizing a online bully gang, because they went after Barstool Big Cat today for something he tweeted. But
God, can I say the tweet?
Nah, I mean, I don't want to. If you want, you can look that up. But if you care that much about a celebrity, I'm sorry, you are a loser.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are absolutely a loser.
Now, I will say the funniest fucking pictures of that game was just how mad Brittany Mahomes looked. Yeah. And it's just like, oh yeah, we traded in Patrick Mahomes' brother for Taylor Swift. and it's just like, I'm kind of like, I kind of want Jackson Mahomes back.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I kind of want him
Mahomes
back.
Made me angry with some of the dumb stuff he did on TikTok.
Yes, he's awful. I mean, he danced on the Sean Taylor Memorial, but
I know that's what main thing I'm talking about. But did you see the meme of Brittany Mahomes looking really kind of like upset or mad?
Yeah,
she's not in the background. There's Taylor Swift, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman, and it says, "When you finally think you've reached celebrity status, and then the real celebrity show up."
I felt so bad for Mike Tirico on Sunday Night Football, because I know ESPN told him that he had to be like, "Oh, it's T Swift. You got to be NBC, whoever it is. You got to acknowledge her." And they showed her so many times. It reminded me of, do you remember about 10 years ago when AJ McCarron's girlfriend was in the stands?
And Brent Musburger was just slobbering all over himself during the Alabama game?
Yeah. I mean, AJ McCarron, she was a very, very beautiful
she was
woman.
Miss Alabama. So it wasn't like, I couldn't get that mad at the old man on the broadcast.
But at the same time, like after the fourth time you show her, you kind of run out of shit to say.
Right. And so the cameraman kind of put Brent Musburger in a bad spot there.
Yeah. And same way with Mike Tirico. It's like, oh, yeah, here we are again with Taylor Swift. Or here we are again with.
Let's check into the celebrity box with T-Swizzle.
Yeah.
Catherine Webb.
Catherine Webb. That was her name.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Duke's quarterback's mom.
Yeah, the other night with the Notre Dame game, they did. They showed Riley Leonard's mom all the time. They had her on game day that day. But, Kyle, talking about Travis Kelce. So I like Travis Kelce. I think he's a pretty funny guy, terrific tight end. But it was hilarious. He did some ridiculous Pfizer commercial pushing the booster. And then Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, he went on Pat McAfee this morning. He referred to Travis Kelce as Mr. Pfizer, and I near about lost my shit laughing. It was so funny. And then Pat was like dying laughing and like covering his face because Pat show hasn't changed that much, but he's like with ESPN now.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it was so funny. Aaron Rodgers was on there and he called Travis Kelce Mr. Pfizer.
Well, he has such a smug ass grin in that commercial, and it kind of annoys me.
Oh no.
Like, who is that happy they got a shot?
Well, that's where I'm kind of like lean towards, it's not the craziest thing I've heard with the T Swift Travis Kelce conspiracy, because it's like his podcast is becoming popular. He's getting that off the ground. He does the Pfizer commercial.
Yeah.
She is Taylor Swift, so there's no other explanation needed. But then the NFL, is the biggest thing going on television right now. And then they're suddenly together and they're putting her on the cover photo and her on the TV, just saying.
Yeah, it's a psyop. It's a massive psyop.
I actually agree with Kyle for reasons I won't say on the air.
And if you want to know Andy's reasons, subscribe to our Patreon. That's behind the paywall. It's too saucy for regular free podcast.
Oh God, I thought you were going to drop some sexual ass name. No, but like, it's like I'm so annoyed. Okay, the first week it was cool. It was funny. Okay, T Swift's there. Okay, the second week I was like, oh my God,
she should not be on the team's plane.
Was
That's crazy.
Was she on the team's plane?
That's what I saw on the internet.
I saw she rode home with him in his convertible, but I'm just like, oh God, no.
Well,
no.
it's like the whole them together doesn't look authentic.
No,
like the way
doesn't.
they were walking out riding in that convertible, like the fact that they were riding in a convertible just seems fake to me, anyways.
Yes.
Because it just looked like it was made for a photo shoot.
It just screams.
Now, I will err on the side. I don't think it's a one big grand conspiracy like you're saying, but if it turned out that it was, I wouldn't be shocked. Because have you read his DM to her? Dude, lame as fuck. If he wasn't Travis Kelce, right? He wasn't the best tight end in the league, one of the best receivers in the league, and just being this hoss of a dude who's a millionaire, that weak ass shit he slid into her DMs would not have worked.
More evidence is a psyop.
Because Andy, do you know what he said?
Nope.
He said, well, I saw you at MetLife Stadium rocking that out. Maybe you should come to whatever the Chief Stadium is and see me rock it out. Arrowhead, me rock it out, and then we'll see which one was more lit.
Oh no! Oh yeah, psyop, bro.
I mean,
psyop, bro.
That 100% would work if you're an NFL starter.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're Travis Kelce, that works. If you're Logan, Trucker, Andy, or Kyle, that does not work.
Yes, no. that worked. All right, hold on.
It might work for Class R Carter, but
Wait, no, there's a qualification to that. That would work for Travis Kelce on 99.9% of women. It doesn't work on Travis Kelce on Taylor Swift.
That's my point, because Taylor Swift is like, whether or not you think she's that attractive or not, like in the grand scheme of things, she is it right now in terms of like celebrity.
Exactly.
She is it. Yeah. She's like top of the top. So like
she's not a 6 like I've seen on the internet. That's just slightly disrespectful.
Travis Kelce.
No, she's definitely more attractive than a 6.
Yeah,
she's definitely more like, because all these dudes, it's like when that whole Margot Robbie is mid thing went on with all the Gen Z little fucks.
Yeah,
like,
fuck him.
Come on, no, sorry,
get a grip, bro.
Like the women that us regular folk talk to, like, are nowhere in the league of like Margot Robbie, and these idiots on the internet are like, she's mid. I'm just like, dude. Wrong.
You watch too much porn, bro. Calm down.
And that's coming from Kyle. The porn star, pro wrestler, five-time champ.
Yeah, you watch too much porn, bro. Calm down. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole catching sixes thing. Yeah, I was like, nope, that didn't work.
No, that doesn't work with her.
Yeah, it is a massive.
Like, is she Jennifer Aniston? No, but Taylor Swift is a very attractive woman, and she's very successful, very talented. Like, in terms of celebrity status, she's arguably probably one of the most, if not the most famous person in the United States right now.
Taylor Swift is the biggest female on the face of the planet.
Well, I would argue that she's probably at this point. So
she might be the most famous person in the world.
This is a
other than Donald Trump.
Yeah, this is a question, and then we'll wrap things up after this. The Cold Cans Gossip Hour will be over. But this was a question that was asked on Twitter a while back, and I would have a different answer in a different time period than I do now. Who's more famous, Tiger Woods or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift. And it depends on the age demographic, though,
We're
too.
talking about-
I don't
we're
even
talking
know
about-
if it even matters.
We're talking about current.
Currently in 2023, right now in
Taylor
October.
Swift.
Yeah.
Taylor
Yes,
Swift.
Taylor Swift.
That's my answer too, because every old person knows Taylor Swift, but every young person, like child and
Yeah.
like Swiftie, doesn't know Tiger Woods. If this had been 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I would have said Tiger Woods.
I would even say 5 to 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not
Yeah.
saying like Taylor Swift 15 years ago. I'm saying Taylor Swift now and Tiger Woods back in like 2002. I would say probably
Yeah.
Tiger Woods. But
Oh, yeah, it's
currently,
not even close.
Taylor
Yeah.
Swift.
I think she's the current. Taylor Swift is currently the Americana export.
Yeah, I think she's probably more popular and more famous than LeBron James. And he's like really, really popular.
Yeah, she
Or
is
really, really famous,
Yeah,
I should say.
she
They're
is
not
the
the same.
chief American export currently.
Yeah. Unless it's to China, then it's LeBron. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is why I think it's a psyop, because she is massive.
no, she is. And that's why I'm saying, like, for her to be with Travis Kelce with that weak ass line he threw at her, that line works, like you said, on 99.9% of women out there, but this is Taylor Swift. Like, she
Yeah,
doesn't have
yeah.
to fall for some ridiculously cheesy, dumb line that he throws on Instagram.
Oh, my favorite meme I've seen is they're going to bring up for the Super Bowl, because the Chiefs have a good possibility of being in the Super Bowl, but she's going to drop a single the week before the Super Bowl. It says, "This ain't it, Chief," which I'm calling it now.
Oh my gosh.
That will be her next single. "This ain't it, Chief."
If that's not a line and their inevitable breakup sign, then she is doing a disservice to us as music listeners.
That's just why it's a psyop.
It's got to
I'm
be a line.
calling it. Write it down now. She will have a line. It may not be the song title, but it'll be a line. "This ain't it, Chief."
Well, who would have had on the bingo card that Taylor Swift would have been brought up by Kyle on the show? But
Yeah, between that and NSYNC, I'm just done with pop.
well,
culture.
the thing about the Taylor Travis news was that it has just inundated every channel that's existed on the internet and on television, that it was unavoidable.
Well, it was almost as bad as, we're in the time of year where, like, we want to cut out of football to, like, watch a two out of bat in Major League Baseball, and I get so annoyed. Like, I don't want to watch baseball. I am watching football, and that
I've
was
watched 0 seconds of the NFL this year, and it's been glorious.
yeah, but like we're in the like a week or two span where they just love to cut out
Yeah,
to certain baseball highlights where, like, the Orioles take a 2-1 lead, even though they already have
or
division
last
lead.
year with Aaron Judge on the
Yes, God, it's an
the way
obnoxious.
ESPN pimped that out last year, where it was like he's chasing history. I'm like, he's chasing an American League record. It's not even the MLB record. Like, stop
Yes,
making a
I
huge
get
deal out of it.
so annoyed. I'm like, if I wanted to watch baseball, I would watch baseball. I'm watching football. I don't care. It's the same way with Taylor Swift. It's like, oh, here we go. We're going to cut out of this play on 3rd and 4 for the Chiefs. I'm just going to show you Taylor Swift. Like, I don't give a fuck. I want to watch the football game. I was getting so annoyed.
Yeah, it was a bit out of control.
Yeah, and poor Mike Tirico. He
Yeah.
just didn't know what to do. But
All right. Well, be sure to give us 5 stars, great review, and click the subscribe button on your way out. Share it with your friends. Available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Amazon. In the description of this podcast, there's a link that says click here to leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know any music recommendations, or even if you what's your opinion on Kyle's conspiracy theory about the Taylor Travis scenario going on now. We'll respond to you next week. And then check out the website, coldcansnetwork.com, for blog content merch. This episode of Country and Cold Cans, I am Logan, sitting here with Trucker Andy, and the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce #1 stan, my man Kyle. We'll see you next time.
take care, guys.